punch this, yeah.
And now you can actually, just one more step, just have to go back. Yep. So share the screen, and then you want to share the screen. And now you can switch over to PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
A few more steps. There we go.
Thanks.
Let's jump right into this slide.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, sorry guys. Themes. And
so sorry about that. There we are. Maria.
So what I'd like to do next is take you through a couple of slides that will introduce the certificate further. We'll primarily talk through what will be the key courses involved in the certificate. And we'll also show you how we're going to ladder this certificate onto the master's program. And then we'll get into, I guess, a bit more detail as to how your academic year will look like when you register for these courses. We'll also talk briefly about the face-to-face orientation that's to take place in late August, early September. And then we'll talk a little bit about the admissions criteria and the tuition fees. So hopefully you can all see on your screen the UBC Executive Masters and Grad Certificate in High Performance Coaching and Technical Leadership. What we have outlined in the blue boxes are the 4 courses that will make up the certificate. So the first course you will embark on is KIN 515. This is a course where we'll talk about gap analysis primarily. Each of these courses are worth 3 credits for a grand total of 12 credits. The second course is KIN 586, Coaching Effectiveness, Improving Coaching Practice. Moving on to 585, Performance Planning, and lastly, the Practicum Experience 598. So what we're hoping to do is when you come in August, you will be registered minimally for 2 of these courses, and that will most likely be 515 and 585 or 586, and then progressing on with the other 2 courses throughout the academic year. Most of these all of these courses are going to kick off in August in the face-to-face orientation. Approximately 10 hours each. We'll meet the criteria of about 10 hours each for each of these courses for a grand total of 40 hours. And then you still have 30 hours per course to complete. And I'll show you a slide later that alludes how we'll break up those 30 hours. Now what you'll see next is the courses that will make up the master's program. So once you have your first year under your belt and you've gone through the certificate program, you'll start your master's program with KIN 516, Leading High Performance Sport. This will be taught by Dr. Mark Beauchamp, who's a researcher and educator in the School of Kinesiology. There is also an opportunity for you at that point to challenge the ACD portfolio. And then moving on to the rest of the courses that will make up the master's. So this will be Business of High Performance Sport. It's most likely going to have a course number of KIN 517. There's also a research methodology component. As you see here in this green box, that's another course. And then you'll have an opportunity to take 2 directed study courses. And those are up to you to select what field you want to investigate further. And at the bottom of that slide, it kind of gives you a couple of topics that you can dive into with respect to these 2 courses. And you will end your master's with the finale. The grand finale will be your final project and presentation, which will be presented to your supervisor, a second reader, who will most likely be somebody from your NCO or PSO. And that will conclude the 30 credits that you need in order to graduate with the master's program. So as you can see, it's a very general slide of what are some key topics that we'll cover in each of the courses, more specifically to the certificate, and then showing you how we're going to ladder it on to the master's program.
All right, let's stop there and take any questions that people have. And please feel free to either type in a question or just put on your mic and speak if you'd like. We're good with wait time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, no questions so far, so we can carry on.
Hey, hang on. I got one question. Would the advanced coaching diploma count for, like, if you take the master's course, you can challenge the advanced coaching diploma? Can the advanced coaching diploma graduate challenge any of the courses?
So the course you will actually get transfer credits for is the practicum experience, the KIN 598. So there'll be a small fee affiliated with it, but you can show your portfolio, you can show the experience that you've gained by doing your diploma, and then you will get those 3 credits. The other 3 courses, GAP 515, 586, 585, they're going to be different than the diploma that you've taken. You'll see some transference between the modules that you've been taught in the diploma, but the courses that we're teaching here at UBC are going to be a lot more academically rigorous and also quite up to date with the literature and the application of what's happening in the sports field with regard to these different topics. So short answer is you can challenge the practicum and you can get those 3 credits.
Any other questions?
Thanks.
Nobody's typing?
Okay. Well, don't hesitate. If something occurs later, we'll come back to the slides if you'd like.
So the next slide in front of you just gives you, again, a bird's eye view of kind of what the program will look like with regards to its timelines. So what you see on the top half of the screen is how we see the graduate certificate laid out. And then the bottom half is how we're going to ladder the master's program onto it. So we're going to have a 6-day face-to-face in August. And there's another slide with more information regarding that after this one. So you'll basically come to UBC for 6 days. We're going to do approximately 10 hours of each of these courses. We're going to orientate you as well with regards to what is our library system like, also our online services, and also give you a bit more information on the practicum experience. And then you basically have 8 months to complete those 12 credits. After those 12 credits have been completed and you want to continue on to the master's, you'll come back to us in June for another face-to-face orientation session. And depending on when you choose to pick those courses for the next year, you will be taking those additional 18 credits. So we will be satisfying a lot of the research methodology component in the face-to-face. We'll organize you with respect to what are your choices for the directed studies, and then we'll also talk quite a bit about what you visualize for your major paper, major presentation to be. And we will also do a couple of hours, synchronous hours, face-to-face hours with 516, which is the high performance leadership course, and 517, which is the business of sport. So hopefully this gives you a better appreciation of, the length of the program, and then the next slide will show you how we're going to separate each of these courses and how you're going to be able to manage your time accordingly. Any questions with this one slide? Any typing? I don't think so. Okay, like Mark said, we can always come back to it. This might clear up a little bit more as to how you are going to be dividing your time once you enroll onto the certificate. So as mentioned earlier, there's that 6-day residential course, which will begin August 30th into September. And what we've done is you've got the subsequent 4 columns, which are the 4 courses you need to take to get the certificate. And what we've also shown you is the amount of hours we're going to satisfy while you're here on campus in that face-to-face orientation. The other kind of rows and columns that you see is how we're going to divide your synchronous time. So synchronous means you're going to be in front of your computer and you're going to be listening live to a webinar. And your asynchronous time is basically you on your own doing your own readings and your own research to satisfy the assignments for that one course. So when you tabulate all of the hours at the very bottom here, you'll see that each course will have an accumulated 40 hours of not just synchronous time and asynchronous time. And a bit more specificity on the synchronous times, we're hoping that every Tuesday and Thursday for 90 minutes, so that's an hour and a half on Tuesdays, and Thursdays you're going to be satisfying those synchronous hours. So they're going to be Pacific time. So we're hoping we're going to have one session on Tuesday mornings. So for the people out east, that can maybe coincide with your lunch break. And for the Thursday evening, maybe 5 o'clock Pacific time, which puts you more at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So what we've done is we've divided the 4 courses, or more so the 3 courses, because the practicum experience is more on your own time. The 3 courses that need to have those 40 hours of instruction is we've divided them in such a way that you can still continue on with your full-time job and then plan for having the Tuesday, Thursday sessions, those synchronous hours. And then you can also see that we've kind of alternated each month how we're going, which course will take focus. So for example, 515 gap analysis, you're going to have a lot of intense synchronous hours in September, and then in January, whereas opposed for 585, a more intense synchronous sessions in October and February, and then for 586 in November and in March. So you'll be busy throughout those 8 months, but we've kind of puzzled them around so you'll be able to satisfy those hours while you're still pursuing a full-time job on the side. Any questions regarding the specifics of this one slide?
I'd like to note that in cohort programs, quite often timing of sessions and so on gets negotiated with participants in the program. So at this stage, we're setting out a model, but with the recognition and understanding that the program itself, or the participants in the program, will have to speak to each other to see what will work. And this is because we anticipate this will have a national community of people involved, and people will be in different time zones. They'll have different work schedules because they'll be coaching different teams. They'll have different high seasons and low seasons, or off seasons. So all of that's going to have to be worked out together to figure out the best times available. But we've been working from Dave Hill's experience working with the Advanced Coaching Diploma, and so the model is built around those assumptions. We'll catch up in a second. All right, so welcome. We've gone partway through the program, and we'll catch you up on things that you've missed. But do you want to just take a second to introduce yourself?
Sure.
And you'll have to use your coach's voice because you speak to this thing.
My name's Jessica. I coach competitive gymnastics in Burnaby. And this is something I've been interested in since I first heard about it.
Great.
About a year ago. So just here to find out the information.
All right.
Great. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. You won't find it.
Yeah, I know this building in this room is difficult. Right.
Okay. If there are no further questions, we'll just continue on.
Oh, Rob has asked a question.
Sure.
When there are conflicts with synchronous sessions, can these sessions be made up with recording?
Yes, so the guest speakers or lecturers will have their webinars recorded, so you can always go back to those if you're not able to attend them.
Good.
Okay. So the next slide just gives you a little bit more information on the face-to-face orientation. So this will be your UBC residential component. You'll come into UBC on August 30th, which I believe is a Sunday, and we keep you here till the Friday prior to that long weekend. So they're going to be packed days, pretty much 9 to 4, and we're going to take pretty much a full day per course to give you some instruction, and you'll also have an opportunity to obviously meet the cohort and get engaged with the material. And we'll also take a little bit of time. We'll kind of pepper it throughout your time here. We'll introduce you to the library system as mentioned earlier. Also an opportunity for you to get caught up with all the technology that we'll be using. And we'll also spend quite a bit of time talking to you about your practicum experience, who you're visualizing to be your mentor coach, and how Dave Hill is going to play into that role, and how I'm also going to play into that role.
Okay.
The one thing I failed to mention, and I'll put it in right now, are who are going to be the instructors for these courses. So for KIN 515, the gap analysis.
Let's go back to this slide.
Yeah.
There we go.
So for 515, the gap analysis, we have Andy Van Nutegen. We also, he currently coaches at Camosun College, and we can maybe even put his bio up online so you can have a bit of a read on him. For 586, we have Shauna Taylor. I'll be doing 585, and as mentioned earlier, David Hill is going to be the practicum advisor for 598.
And the other courses, we've mentioned Marc Beauchamp, and the other, the master's courses are yet to be determined. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
In year 2.
Yeah, and all of the instructors have PhDs in specific areas. Okay. Any questions regarding to what's expected in the residential component of the program?
I'd also like to say that the program's being set up so that people who are leading in particular areas or particular topics will be guest speakers. Mm-hmm. So because we're working with the national sports organizations, and we have a commitment to include anyone who's at the leading edge or who is particularly paradigmatic in that field to come and join in. And so what we're hoping to do is coalesce or consolidate all of the important knowledge that's available right now for coaches at the high performance level in every area. Mm-hmm. So we've got the PhDs who are leading and guiding the graduate work, but we also will get the best practice, best knowledge that's available from the field.
Okay, so a busy slide in front of you outlining what are the admissions requirements for the program. And all of this information can also be found on the KIN website when you go to the graduate tab and the certificate. We're looking for individuals that have a bachelor's degree. You're not restricted to the areas of human kinetics, physical education, or kinesiology. You must have 5 years of coaching experience, also level 3 certified. Yeah, that's the right word. And also your recommendation from the National Sport Organization. So
or equivalent.
Or equivalent. Sorry. We also will make. We'll also consider individuals that don't meet that criteria, but are exceptional in their coaching world. So we've allotted a bit of space for that type of learner as well, which is fantastic. With regards to what's required for the application process, again, I encourage you to go to the website. You'll need 3 letters of reference, one which should come from your NCO or equivalent. You should include your CV. There's also a couple of forms that you have to fill online. Those are all due May 30th. We're taking all applications up to May 30th. And then the admissions committee will sit down, review all of the applications, and send out letters of offers.
And just a heads up that if we don't get your letters of reference by May 30th, that's okay. It's more about getting your application in, getting your statement in, and your transcripts if at all possible. Okay.
Great.
Any questions about the admissions? I'd just like to underscore what Maria said about people who have different academic backgrounds getting into the program. We worked very hard with the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies to make clear to them that exceptionality in this field doesn't necessarily come out of an academic environment that they're typically used to. And so we've been able to push them on their language around what would constitute people or coaches who are coming to this study who don't have the typical academic bachelor's degree or a process like that fits exactly in the linear models that they have. And we're pretty confident that if as Maria said, if someone's got a really strong coaching background and has strong endorsement from their sports organizations, that there'll be spaces. And it's unusual, I think, in Canada to be able to offer a graduate degree that also is going to accommodate the knowledge of the field in this way, knowledge that's developed as a coach. Yeah.
Great. Do you want to talk to this? Or
yeah, I should speak to this because I represent the university here on this project. So this program, the graduate certificate's a bit different than our usual master's offerings because we're doing this on a per course basis. So the per course fee is $15.40, and the fees are going to be charged on each term. We'll start with a new course, or we'll charge for a course. So in August there'll be one course charge. In September there'll be a second one. Those two follow quickly on each other. Then in January, and then again in May. So that will be broken out over those 4 terms. $61.60, and for the program, the student fees are going to amount to, we think, about $280. We've had a good commitment that not all of the graduate student fees that are required by on-campus students will need to be paid by students in this program.
One-time payment?
or is it per?
It's it'll be the total amount will be about that much.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, and then the master's program tuition. There will be a laddering process so that the courses that you've taken in the graduate certificate then get automatically laddered into the master's program, and then there will be 18 credits that follow. The master's program fee itself has not yet been determined. Because of the additional ideas that have been included in the program about particularly being inclusive of the national sports organizations, the cost could be a bit higher than just the graduate certificate per course fee. But we're really strongly committed to maintaining that at as low a level as possible. And we've also had a strong, I don't know if the next slide speaks to scholarships. No, if Dave Hill was here, he would speak to the scholarships that he is working with. The CSI Pacific is developing, as well as in conversation with Gerard at the CAC and on the podium, to make available to coaches a scholarship to help defray these costs, both the costs of the tuition, but also the cost of the practicum working with your in your field or in the sport. There we go. Any questions about the tuition fee at this stage? We must be good teachers.
I know.
Jeez.
Okay. So this one slide here just offers you where you can go and get extra information with regards to the certificate program. So there is that KIN website I alluded to earlier. Also, my email is there at the bottom. If you've got any questions regarding the academic side of things, I'm definitely the person to contact with that. And Helen Luke is the admissions contact. So if you have any questions regarding GPA, application processes, reference letters, all that kind of material or questions would be directed to her, and you can see her email address down there. And she's great. You can also maybe pick up the phone. You can find her name in the directory, and she'd be more than happy to answer your questions.
Good. So I'm going to say a couple of other things that Dave Hill emphasized at the last session. Just first thing is that he spoke, and I think he's speaking from his experience doing the advanced coaching diploma. He spoke about the real value of this program in having coaches from different fields working together. that there's an awful lot that's gained from the interaction between people from the different disciplines looking at athlete development and team development and so on. The second thing that he really wanted emphasized was the value of working together in a cohort and just how much that it both improves one's learning, increases the efficiency of one's learning, but also builds up one's network capacity for engaging in excellence over a larger network of people and pulling in from a network ideas that will allow one to excel. I think that he's very excited. We're all very excited about the community of coaches that will come together in this program, that will bring their own knowledge and expertise, but also will bring their own passion for their sports. And that kind of energy is incredibly exciting to work with. So, and we also have really good experience working with cohort programs here at UBC. The success rate or completion rates are very high because of the social nature of this, so that people work together in group projects and so on, and support each other. It also seems to keep people motivated to push through. So there you have it. If you've got, as Maria has said, if you've got any other questions, please get in touch with Helen directly or with Maria. And also, if you want to hang around afterwards, we'll stay online for a few minutes, and we'll answer any questions you have. And we're going to catch Jessica up on some of the things that she missed. Gerard, do you want to add anything at the end here?
Yes. So I think to support what you just mentioned, like even here at the Coaching Association of Canada, we're presently working on our new high performance context, in which the peer learning and the unmediated learning, so what happens in the peer groups, is very important in bringing people from competent to expert. So having that interaction within the pod moving on in this program is a really valuable thing. So I'm really excited that we had a chance to work from the get-go to make sure it aligns well with what we do in the Coaching Association of Canada and with the coach education that's happening everywhere in Canada through our programs. So it's great to have that link with the academic process also. So thanks a lot for developing this program with all these partnerships.
Well, that's been a privilege. It's been really fun so far. A lot of work, but really fun. And we're so excited about how this will support coaching in Canada. It could make a real difference for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I already have a few sports that have already, even if it's like brand new and everything, kind of asking, can we get this into our certification pathway? So I think the more it's going to go out, the more sports are going to want to take advantage of this opportunity. It just adds to the capacity of the sporting system in Canada.
Thank you, Gerard. And we didn't spend much time talking about the research and about the knowledge development, but it came out in our last conversation that the sports organizations are actually looking to this program to help generate the knowledge that will improve the practice of all the coaches, so that while people are learning their fields, while they're engaged in study, the research that the participants will be undertaking will also be benefiting the larger community. And we're really excited about that too. And in that sense, I think the field of coaching is going to expand its professional nature, but also its capacity to generate excellence. Jesse, you joined us late, so
Yes, I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. And we're happy to hang out a little bit here and answer any questions you might have. Jessica's also come in a bit late, so we're going to do that. And to the rest of you, thank you so much. And we'll hang on now probably till just before 11. So if you want to just lurk, you're welcome to. Otherwise, have a great day wherever you are.
Cool.
All right, so Jessica, first to you.
Is this a program that you're thinking about offering kind of consistently through the years? Like every year you'll offer another one? Or is it kind of a trial first and then see how it goes?
The plan is that we'll have an intake every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. What about those? Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I was just going to say, what about those coaches who do not have an undergraduate degree, but are potentially certified NCCP in 2 sports?
So that's a great question. We have established with the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies here some language that allows us to bring in coaches who are strongly endorsed by their sports organization, who have established excellence in their coaching experience, and who clearly have the knowledge, the coaching knowledge that's crucial to the program.
Okay.
With the assumption that if they've got that knowledge, that then we can scaffold their experience of becoming a student and a graduate student. And part of the setup of the graduate certificate first is to allow people who don't have a lot of academic credentials to give it a go and have an opportunity to sort of prove themselves and feel it out for themselves before they enter the master's degree as the next stage.
Okay.
Is there any flexibility on, for example, I have a degree and my level 3 coaching, but I don't on a regular basis coach, or I haven't coached national stream athletes. I'm kind of the grassroots developmental coach, but still kind of looking potentially in that direction. But at this point, I haven't spent 5 years coaching a national level athlete, but I've been coaching for 20. Mm-hmm. So it's, again, if I'm endorsed by if I can kind of get a sports organization endorsement letter, that would be.
I think that's the first piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there is a review committee that would take your application, look at the upside, the potential that you bring, the knowledge you bring, and would consider the whole of your application. And so we're not at this point closing down any bases on that kind of criterion just yet.
Okay. Yeah, definitely encouraging everybody to put in their application. Absolutely. And then if you don't get in the first go, you would follow up with some feedback. How can I make my application stronger? Yeah. The cohort that we're looking at is a size of 20. I don't know if we've mentioned that.
No, we didn't.
Do you have any idea of the interest so far?
I can tell you there's probably been about 25 or so people that have filled out the pre-application process. Great. Yeah.
So can I jump in here a little bit?
Yeah.
We talk, the title of this is High Performance Coaching and Technical Leadership. So right. There are some people that are not necessarily going to be coaching at the high performance level, but they may be high performance directors, technical directors. So if going towards a position in high performance, but more in the management part of it, like that could be something also. So you don't necessarily have to be a high performance coach or wanting to become a high performance coach. Maybe your role is going to be somewhere else in that high performance system.
Wow, awesome. Great. Thank you.
Just one more question. If your sport,
go ahead,
okay, if your sport only required 4 out of the 6 modules for competition development, are you guys going to require all 6?
Well, when you complete the certificate, you will have covered approximately 80% of all the modules.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, if you want to receive and go through the certificate program, you will have to go through all of those requirements that the courses are asking of you.
Of course, but to apply, is that going to make a difference if I've only got 4 of the
No.
6? Okay.
No.
Thank you very much.
I don't believe so.
Just that's
Okay.
the graduate certificate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Jesse,
just worried.
Jesse,
What
what sport do you coach?
Gymnastics and trampoline.
Nice.
Okay.
And where are you located?
Kelowna, BC.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
So in gymnastics and trampoline, because I'm the consultant for gymnastics, so I can tell you what
Okay.
what's required. So the competition development context is not developed yet. So they're
Okay.
still using the level 3, the old level 3 in the old program. So there wasn't the multi-sport modules, the 6 multi-sport modules for Comp Dev didn't exist at that time. And
Okay.
to get the equivalence of the Theory 3, you had to do 4 multi-sport modules, plus design a sport program and making ethical decisions, which was
Right.
in the previous course. So if you have all of that, you meet the criteria of level 3 certified, which is the equivalent of Comp Dev certified.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a cross-training specialist. I work with all the high-performance cross-training stuff in the city. So I coach the Canadian Sports School gymnastics program
Okay, good.
and all that. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Gerard, it's great to have you here. Can you make the next one too?
I can try. I'll see if it fits in my schedule, but I should be okay.
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
So any other questions, Jessica?
At this point, no. I think this answers the majority, but I'm guessing I came in right as we started talking about the way that the courses are laid out.
Yes.
In August, which is perfect. That was kind of my bigger question, as well as some of the application questions, which have been answered.
Excellent. Great.
The website will be helpful as well if you have a look.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Jesse, any questions that you have left?
I'm okay. Thank you very much for your time. I'm pretty excited.
Well, it's going to be an awesome event. And
Okay.
I have this feeling that the first go could be a real opportunity for people who want to get in, because I think the second and third time the competition will be high.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling also.
Yeah, so it's a good time. If it fits for
Okay.
you, it's a good time to get started.
Yeah, and it's bound to get more international as well as we.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So
All right,
unless
thank you.
we hear anybody else pipe up, I think we're going to sign off shortly.
Other than that first week, that the really an intensive week in between August and September, is the rest from home or like on your own?
Yeah. So you'll have some synchronous hours where you'll have to log on Tuesday, Thursdays for about 90 minutes, and we're trying to put it at lunchtime and in the evening. And then any other time is you on your own.
Okay.
Okay.
Worked it out.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Thursday, around lunchtime?
Yeah. So morning. So Tuesday morning Pacific time, and then Thursday evening Pacific time. And to be honest, those could potentially change based on the instructor's availability, right?
Of course. And if you can't make, say, Thursday evening I'm coaching, I think I came in as somebody was asking.
The sessions will be videoed and you can access them later.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. You'll just miss out a bit on that kind of,
This talk.
yeah, the cohort
Exactly.
talk, yeah.
And then is there a participation kind of, is it expectation for, I wouldn't be able to make the majority of
I
those
would have to go
meetings?
back to the rubric and
Okay.
how we're going to evaluate you,
Right,
and each course would be different.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just, if I'm not able to make any of the Thursday evenings other than having to go back and watch the video later, if that would
Right.
be okay.
I can probably give you that answer in a little bit here.
Stiff during the week.
One more question, actually.
Yeah.
Will you require a coaching kind of career portfolio from someone who does not have the degree?
Yeah, Jesse, that's one of the things we'll be asking from you. If you don't
Okay.
meet the kind of academic requirements, it's going to be, portfolio, along with, coaching CV, the reference letters, and all of the other information that we need. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Could you go back to the slide, the overview of the whole?
Yep.
Yeah, that one. One more. The one in between. There we go. Okay. So it's 4 courses through the course of basically August to May.
Yeah.
With only those 2 weeks, or the 1 week being intensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only course that may have some participation marks is coaching effectiveness.
Okay.
586, but it's combined with online quizzes. Okay. So it says online quizzes, seminar participation 20%. The rest don't have a participation mark.
Okay. I wonder if participation, would it include any conversation that happens after the class?
Yeah, that would be up to the instructor to decide. Okay. Yeah, that's Shauna Taylor, Dr. Shauna Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you had mentioned something about having a mentor coach and doing a practicum.
Yeah.
So it should obviously be within our field, and can it be?
It doesn't have to be.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're kind of really embracing that multi-sport model.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll be for basically right through?
It depends when, your season is, obviously, right? So you could, the only thing we're really asking is a minimum of 40 hours, which we know is very, very minor.
Yes,
and then the course syllabus for that has a presentation, a journal that you keep, I believe, and there's one more thing that I'm missing from the criteria. Mm-hmm. But David Hill would be the practicum advisor.
Okay.
And I would come in for that panel presentation at the tail end as your academic advisor.
And if it was something that was out of province, would we be able to do that as well?
It would have to be online.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, we are not going to be able to cover the fees of that mentor coach coming here.
Well, no, of course. But if I were to go to, say, Calgary or however.
Yeah, you'd have to support yourself. That's why the scholarship is a great opportunity. Right. We're going to offer scholarships for those types of scenarios. Yeah.
Just to talk about that, like when we piloted the high performance or ACE program, we had it was a requirement to have a mentor from another sport. Some sports use the same sport mentor, but we had a lot of success with other sports, things that it's either people that have certain qualities of either leadership, and that's what the coach needed, or we had trampoline coaches that were working with snowboard coaches for the acrobatic part of it. So it was really useful to have that cross-pollination effect.
For sure. Interesting. So are you then assigned your mentor coach, or is that something you choose? Okay.
David Hill would be your resource. He's got great connections across Canada. And so if you say, hey, and Gerard, and back to his example, the leadership component is something I really want to work on as a coach. Sure. Perhaps they'll give you some names that you can contact and types of personalities that could maybe work on your weaknesses.
Yeah, I think what's important is if you can get a mentor that's not too far away, it helps out because it's easier to get the contact. And also, the personality is really important. So you have to find the right fit for who you're looking for. Like if you don't have the good fit, it won't be a very useful relationship. Absolutely. So you need to find the right person. We had Mel Davidson from hockey working with canoe kayak coaches, and it worked absolutely fine. We had rowing coaches working with canoe kayak coaches. We had really all over the place. We had an athletics coach working with a sprint kayak coach, and that transfer was really helpful, and it helped lead to a bronze medal at the Olympics. So there's a lot of links that can be done, and like you said, Dave has a lot of contacts. He knows like who could be good fits. Same thing on my side. I can help out, and our consultants at CAC, the consultants for your sport, can also help out. We have access to all the sports and know who's good and who could be good fits.
But it's
Right, of course.
really
Fantastic.
helpful to have
Thank you.
Gerard in a bigger context. Thanks, Gerard. Joni, I notice you're still online here. Do you have any questions you want to ask?
No questions. I'm just listening and gaining as much information as I can with everybody else's questions.
Okay. Great. All right, folks. Well, it's been a real pleasure to meet you and to introduce you to what we think will be an incredibly exciting program.
I'm so glad you're doing it.
Okay, we're signing off.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day,
Have a good
everyone.
one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gerard.
You're welcome. Bye, Mark, Maria.
Adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu. That means forever.
À bientôt.
Ah, that's better. À
That's
bientôt.
better. À bientôt.
Okay.
Cool. All right, I've got an exam to give.
Oh.
Yeah, really keen idea. I'm really glad that it's being offered.
And stop that.
Yeah, and anything regarding application.